Hi, it's Martin and welcome to another video on my Knit365 YouTube channel. Today's video is, I don't know what we're going to call these because it's not my monthly roundup, my weekly roundup. We'll go with a weekly roundup for a minute because obviously I'm trying to blog weekly. Yeah. I have things to show you. There has been progress made. I feel like I'm currently torn between a weekly blog being, oh my word, I don't have anything to show them, versus quick, do something so you have something to show. And whether it's motivating to know I need to do something weekly or a little bit distracting. I'm not quite sure which one is in yet. But I have progress on 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and then maybe a new cast on that I haven't cast on yet. Hey ho. So, hi, welcome. If you're new here, this is my weekly blog where I get to gather all of my things and sit down and chat to you about what I've been up to. This kind of is replacing the monthly roundup when I sit down and chat about all of my monthly things. And that kind of follows works in progress, finished objects, and cast-ons, and then kind of general knitting plans. I think I did say last week, maybe, that I would get the book out and we'd do all of my whips. I haven't got the book out. I've only just remembered as I've sat down to film. So we'll do that next week, maybe. Yeah. We'll do that next week. It is currently Sunday the 14th of January as I sit down and record, and it's about 5:10. So we have artificial light because the daylight's gone. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit hungover. I am best man to two of our very, very good friends, Rian and Claire. I've known Rian for 25 years and Claire, not quite as long, but a long time. They're getting married in June. So excited. I'm best man, Mark is usher. They came down last night. We speak to them multiple times throughout the weeks, but we haven't actually seen them for months for a proper night out. Like, we've had quick coffees here and there, but they came down last night and we went out drinking and we didn't have any food. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit fragile to the point that about an hour ago, I was like, there's not going to be a video this week because I can't sit and record. But I'm here, it is fine. I've had some water. We've had some crisps. If Darwin, my PT, is watching, I haven't fessed up to him yet that I went out and got drunk and didn't have any food. It's fine. It'll be what it'll be. But it is going to be one of those chaotic videos, I think. So if you are new here, there are lots of videos that will probably be a little bit better strung together. If you're a returning viewer, hi, welcome back. It's only taken me 3 minutes to get through the introduction. Right, there are no finished objects for this episode. Boo! And there is also no sock dance. Boo! I love that you all love the sock dance. Mark liked the sock dance as well. After I made him do it, I then played him the little clip with the music and he's like, okay, I love it. So I think there will be a sock dance when either one of us has a pair of finished socks. Again, there will be more sock dances in our future. He's on the bed watching telly. If there's noises, I don't know, the dishwasher's on. I don't know whether you can hear it. So apologies if you can. So there are no finished objects. But I have 4 whips to show you. This is kind of a finished object, but it's not a finished object. But I finished my bump of fibre. So this is the Marino that I picked up from the Unravel Festival. And this is the new spindle that I had. I don't know if I showed this off in last week's video. I bought it from the Fibre Hut. And I'm also recording my Spinuary video. So I'm not sure, I know I've sat down and talked about this, so I don't know if you've seen it or not, but this is the new spindle that I bought. And it's much I needed to get another one because the one that I had from Jan, this moved. So that was partly affecting the spin because the yarn would sit in the notch and then that would spin around. The yarn would fall off the notch, get twisted on the hook. It was a thing. This yarn is a little, it's more consistent. That bit, I don't know what happened there. That thick bit that's on screen now. It is a little more consistent than the previous one. And I feel like I'm getting a bit more confident now. I know when it's going to get thicker. And I kind of know what I need to do to make it thinner. So yeah, so I'm very happy that I finished my bump. I need to wind this off now because I want to use this spindle and get the next batch of fibre on. So I'm kind of claiming that as a finished object this week because I finished the bump. But I'm hoping, I'm still doing my I didn't do any spinning yesterday or Friday, but I have mostly been keeping up with trying to do my 15 minutes a day. So yes, I'm very happy. Plans and things for the yarn will be in the Spinuary video. That will come at some point. I'm just not sure when. So there's that finished object. The next finished object, I showed this off last week. I said that I wanted to do Charles Darwin, which is the doll by Kerry Lord of Toft. So I have finished the head and the body, which is good. I personally leave the top a bit more open. So there's another 2 rounds of decreasing just to close the head off. But I find it easier, I have slightly bigger fingers. And when you finish decreasing, I think you've only got 6 stitches left or 8 stitches, which makes the whole, you can get the barrel of a hook in, but it makes it a little bit harder to stuff it. So I personally leave a little bit open. But he is done. So here we have ears. And then if I try and make his face 3D, there's his chin and his ears. So I've made some progress on Charles Darwin. So I said that I want dishwasher. So I said that I wanted to keep ticking along on this one, which I have done. So I'm really happy, which is good. So next we're going to be onto the arms, which are just, I was wondering what that noise was. It's the dishwasher, but it's finished, and our dishwasher, it's quite fancy-ish. It's got a little thing that pushes the door open to let the steam out so that it dries. And I was like, what's that noise? It's like a grinding noise. And I remembered it's the arm taking itself back inside. Anyway, we digress. I told you this video would be messy. Yes, so I'm going to do the hands, onto the arms and the hands next. So I'll try and get a bit of that done this week. Yeah, this is going to be a much shorter video than I was thinking, because I'm already through one. I'm rattling through them, aren't I? We're only on 8 minutes. I need to slow down, don't I? Or maybe not. But because there's not that much progress, like last week's video was 45 minutes, I think. But there was a lot to talk about last week. Whereas there's less to talk about this week, I think. Anyway, but Charles Darwin, we're making great progress. The next project that I'm working on are the Spiral Splash socks by Stephen West. So that is the January pattern from Stephen's, I was going to say sock of the year. He has an ebook out, the West Knits Year of Socks. That's the one. I was trying to think what it was called. And every month you get a different sock pattern. So these are the January socks. And I'm using these gorgeous yarns by Cool Woolens. So we've got this really lovely, highly variegated blue, and then this semi-solid turquoise. And I found out that these are hand-painted when they're dyed. How amazing is that? But I've made good progress with my sock. It hasn't finished. A few of you, bless you, highly confident in my ability, were suggesting that I might have the sock finished this week. I haven't, but I'm not far off. So this is the current progress. So last weekend then I finished, I think, had I finished that when I did the video? I don't know. I think I'd started the pattern when we sat down last week. But I finished the leg. I've done the heel, which is a garter stitch heel. And then I have done I've done the heel turn, and we've picked up all the stitches for the gusset decreases. So now it's just straight knitting to the toe. So the pattern carries on the front of the sock. So this carries on the top, and then actually on the bottom, it's just plain stripes. And I really like how, because these yarns, obviously that's almost like a corresponding semi-solid to go with the variegated. I like how they blend slightly on the foot in just normal stripes, but you do get that real cool distinction where the semi-solid works as a framing color. I just love it. So yeah, so I'm really happy. I think I did talk about these last week. So I was just about to say I don't have gauge. I'll do this briefly in case you haven't watched last week's. But I didn't get gauge and I didn't swatch. I started the pattern and it was really big. So I'm doing a size 3. Usually I have to go down a needle size to match Stephen's gauge. But I'm already using a 2.25 mil needle, and I don't have any 2 mil needles, and they're really small. So I ripped it back to the cuff, and I then restarted the pattern minus one of the pattern repeats. So there's a certain number of pattern repeats for the size 3. Take one pattern repeat out, and that's size 2. So I'm actually just following the size 2 pattern now. I tried them on. I had a bit of beard hair. Sorry, I'm not editing that either. I tried them on. Sorry, folks. I tried them on and they fit perfectly. I'm really happy with them. They do look big, but when I hold them up against the Dustland socks that I wore in the sock dance last week, they're about 0.5 centimetre wider. But I think that's because of the slip stitch patterns to create these frames. So it is a slightly stretchier sock. But weirdly, I don't have stitch gauge, but I do have row gauge. So I've actually added another inch onto the pattern though, because I got to the point for my 4 inches and I measured it and I do have gauge. I think I'm like 1 stitch out. But obviously row gauge isn't too much of a problem because you can just do more or less pattern repeats. But I think it was just down to about here. Where Stephen says, and in the pattern you can almost see where he's wearing it. It is a slightly shorter ankle, but I wanted them to almost fit the same as the Dustlands, so I've done another inch on the leg before I started doing the heel. So there we go. I am still loving these, and there's definitely something about a patterned pattern. For socks, I've talked about this before, and I'm sure lots of you, if you are, actually it's probably the same in any knitting, whether it's sock knitting, hat knitting, anything with a pattern seems to grow a lot quicker than just knit stitches. Because when I made the woolly waffle hat last year, I think it was, you do a waffle stitch pattern on one half, then you pick up stitches and then you just knit a plain, and then it sits inside each other, so it's double thickness. The waffle one grew so quickly, the other one didn't. And it's the same size, and I'm sure it's just psychological that you feel the one is going quicker than the other, but these definitely feel like they're growing quite quickly. So yeah, I might have the brain space to do these tonight, to work on these later on. It is, yeah, it'll be about 5:30 by the time I finish recording this now. We haven't had any food yet, but we'll watch some telly and just have a quiet night. Although I might work on Mark's shawl in a minute. That's probably an easier project actually, because that doesn't involve any skill per se. But yes, anyway, I love these socks. So I'm hoping for this week to get the sock finished, and then hopefully try and cast on the second one, but we will see what my plan is. But I'm seeing Nick at Unravel in February. So I will have one sock finished for Unravel to take to show Nick. I really like when I've bought yarn from someone, if I then get to a show and I can take the project with them, it almost feels like showing the teacher your homework. So I really want to take my sock to show Nick how it looks in her yarn. It would be amazing if I could get both socks done, and then I can wear them. They will be cool. And I'm definitely I was going to say Crocs and socks. I'm definitely a Crocs and socks. I love my Crocs. They're so comfortable. Stocks and socks. I've got my sandals, and I'm happy to wear socks and sandals out, especially to a yarn show then when you get to show off fancy knitted socks. So I'm hoping to plow on with that one this week. Right, the next and last finished object, work in progress that I worked on this week. Hopefully you'll know what I'm doing. We have ends, lots and lots and lots of ends. Oh, this could be the thumbnail. Confused look. So I have moved on to the tassels for Mark's shawl. So I got a postage box, I think it is. Yeah, I had a centralizer stitch marker from Toft for the centralizer subscription that they do. And I had the postage box, and it was almost the perfect size. So I grabbed the box, wound the yarn around, which is what I mentioned last week I wanted to do, and lots of you said that you'd done something similar. So I wound that around, and then the first lot with these, I cut them twice. So I cut the top, and then I cut the bottom at the same time. That was quite fiddly though, to make sure that I got the second cut perfectly in the middle. So what I did with these ones is I wrapped it around, and then I just cut once. So what I'm now doing is when I go to put these in, I then just fold them in half and cut them first before I loop them around. I'll show you the shawl in a minute. But that for me is a little bit easier to make sure that they stay consistent. So we have the 4 colours of the shawl, and what Mark had asked for, and we tried a couple of options out. So what Mark has gone for is alternating colours. It does actually help the curling. So I've not blocked this yet. So I will give it a block, and then I can give these a little fluff, and then we can cut them. There's a couple that need a little trim, like that one's a bit long there. But what we've done then is we've done colour A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. You get the picture. So I've not made bad progress on the fringing. Yeah, I'm going to do this tonight. This feels like a hungover Sunday. Yeah. But I'm loving, yeah, it's definitely helping. So the border's curling. And I think a few of you said that you had similar on yours. And I've looked, Stephen has a bit of curling on his as well. So I'm hoping that it is going to block out. But actually, the fringing is helping to straighten it. So I'm not worried about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. But I'm still surprised that Mark wanted fringing, because he's not a fringe. It feels too, like, I like this because it's quite tactile. I think when I've got it on, I can then play with them and twirl. I like to burrow. But I'm surprised. But anyway, he wanted it. This is his. Mine is still a distant memory. It's in the bag. All of you there last year going, you're not going to make 2 of them. I am going to make 2 of them. I'm just not going to make 2 of them in quick succession. But I do want to get this one done, and then I'm going to start, I'll add that into my whip rotation then, so I can get going on mine. I've done section 1. I'm going to try and get section 2 done. But yeah, so we've gone for 8 strands. I don't know if you can see that. So 8 strands, and it's just, they're tied over in a knot. I don't know if you can make that out. So basically, I fold them in half, and then using a crochet hook, the way Stephen does. So crochet hook in, and then just pull them through on themselves and tighten. That was a very bad demonstration. Stephen's video for the geogradient shows how he does it, and that's I'm basically doing what Stephen did. So we're so close. This will be done this week. Fringing and a wash, and then that is a finished object. And Mark can wear it. The colours, they're just gorgeous. I love what he chose. So yeah, fringing a go-go, right? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that this week and tonight. Definitely. I do need to wind this off though, and then I haven't done my 15 minutes of spinning. Maybe is it a Lazy Kate? I said this to Mark earlier. There's a Lazy something. Lazy Susan is the round one, isn't it, in a Chinese restaurant where they put the food out and you can spin it, like the board spins around. Is it a Lazy Kate? It's like, do I like clamp that in and then it then spins so that I can wheel it off? I think. When I did it before, I think I held it like this and then Mark spun it on the winder to take that off. So when we come to cook some tea in a little while, I might see if I can get him to hold that while I wind this off. I'm just going to put it onto a toilet roll for a moment. Or no, actually, I can just wind it into a centre pull ball, can't I? Because if I am then going to ply it on itself, it'll need to be in a centre pull ball. Yes. Right, I'm going to wind that off, and then I will do my 15 minutes of spinning. Then I'm going to do... Right. This is where my head is at today. Indecisive, unable to make a decision. And then, the final thing to talk to you about in today's video... Now, you can all give me a look and all give me a talking to. I know it's only the 14th of January and I've already bought yarn. I didn't set out, last year I set out and I said I wasn't going to buy yarn. And I kind of put myself on a yarn ban with certain parameters. And it's like, it's my podcast, it's my rules, I can make up what I want. But it was like, if it's yarn for the subscription or special treat yarn. But I tried not to buy yarn, and I am going to try and do that again this year because I have lots of yarn that I really want to use, and I've got lots of projects that I want to make. But I mentioned, so in the Spiral Splash socks by Stephen, these are the January socks. When you buy the ebook, it came with a bonus pattern, and the bonus pattern is the billowing braid socks. I think everything's a little bit hazy and blowing out in the light because I've got the artificial light. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's just a bit hazy here. So these are the billowing braid socks. Now, my knitting group, me and my 3 friends, Charlotte, Amanda and Kate. If you've been watching for a while, they were the mad ones that came to Unravel in September, the autumn one, and they turned up with t-shirts with my name, with my face on. Gotta love it when your tribe turns up. Yes, I was there working with Gemma from The Little Grey Girl, and I turned around and they've got t-shirts on with my face. Hilarious. Anyway, they're my knitting group. I speak to them every day. We always cheer each other on. And I love making socks, as you know. And I want to say that Charlotte has made socks before, but Amanda never has. And every time we talk about socks, she's like, absolutely not. I'm not doing it. No. Nope, 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 nope. But she does the most intricate colour work mittens and hats. So it's not, I think it's just a desire. She has no desire to do socks. Until now. Insert evil laugh. And I think Kate has done, I'm not sure Kate has ever done socks either, but she's definitely done, again, gloves and small needle knitting. So I was joking them for ages. Oh, at some point in 2024, we're all going to do socks. And Amanda's like, I'm not doing socks. I'm like, okay, you will do socks. So I surreptitiously, before Christmas, found out what their favourite colours were. And then I spoke to the lovely Gemma of The Little Grey Girl, friend of the podcast. You'll know we all love Gemma here. And Gemma is the yarn dyer and bag maker, dyer extraordinaire of The Little Grey Girl. So I then made a yarn purchase with Gemma, and I bought us all yarn. So I have my favourite blue from Gemma. This is the Stansfield colourway. And Charlotte has a really bright, vivid pink, and Amanda and Kate have like a maroon burgundy colour. And I was like, right, let's all make socks. Yes, we can. And if we're ever going to do it, right, because these billow and braid socks are DK weight. They're done on a 3.25mm needle. I've now got a fluff in my mouth. So they're not like knitting on a 2.25mm needle. You know, yes, it's, 3.25 is still small, but it's not that small. And it's DK weight, so they should grow quickly. So I was like, right, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. And I now feel like Amanda is on the sock board because, the sock boat, because she's even talking about swatching. I know, right? So yes, so I've tried to encourage my little knitting group that we should all make socks. So it's like, I've sent you all something. And then Amanda got hers first and she opened it and she messaged me. She's like, you're joking, aren't you? Because she knew exactly what was coming. And she's like, I hate you, but I'll do it because you're adorable. And I was like, thanks. So me and my knit group are doing a mini sock along. We're going to start over the next week. We've got a date to get together at the end of February, face to face. And we're going to all try and get to the heel by that date in February. So then we can all support each other. And I was like, I'm here, I'm on hand. If you need any help, we can jump on a call and we can do it. But if not, let's all try and get to the heel. And then, because they're all like, oh, but the heel's the hardest. I'm like, no, the heel's are the easiest bit because you're just back and forth on 2 needles. The turn is actually quite easy. I think the hardest bit is the gusset. It's picking up the decreases, setting up the needles again, and then starting the pattern. So yeah. So I bought wool and I think these are going to be amazing. So let me just, so they've got this lovely little detail down the sides. And then of course the braid on the top. I said, we can all do socks, and then when we get together, we can all go to a yarn show wearing our socks, and we will be the coolest people there, all in our matching socks. And they're like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I think it'll be fun. And it's a really good, supportive group. So we can help each other out. And Amanda is a demon at cables. Like, she can cable without needles, and she does really complex hats and stuff. So I was like, right, they're double knit, and it's got cables. So if there's a pattern to get her to make a pair of socks, it's going to be those. Charlotte and Kate were just like, yes, let's do it. And then Amanda's like, But it's fine. So ladies, if you're watching, thank you. I'm very much looking forward to our sock along. So that is basically the reason why I bought some yarn. So it was a community thing. It was like a nice gift for friends. So yeah. So at some point I need to cast these on. I'm not worried about these, as in, I don't need to personally get to the heel by the something of February, because they will be, and I can help them then with wherever they've got to. But I will try and cast them on so that we're knitting at the same time. But I'm going to try and at least finish this one. And then when the first sock is finished on that one, I've cast the second one on, I'll then probably cast these on. So I'm not likely to cast these on this week, but who knows? There was a suggestion that we might actually do a Zoom call, the four of us, and cast on together. So in which case I will cast on. So at some point there's more socks coming. So there we go. That is very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to that being a plan and that happening. And that's probably it, I think, for where I've got to. Next 2 weekends, we have mostly free. So I'll have finished Mark's shawl. I'll have hopefully done my sock. So by next weekend, and I won't be hungover, I'm going to get Mark's jumper out. So dust that back off. I want to try and get his shawl done out of the way. And then that's a big project ticked off the needles. But also, like, there was no way I was picking his jumper up today. No, not with this head. So a few little bitty things, I think, now throughout this week to finish off smaller projects. And then, yeah, next weekend feels like it'll be a nice one that we finish work on Friday, shut the door and don't go out till Monday. I quite like that idea. And then I might get 2 days of knitting on his jumper. We'll see. But it does mean there will be another video next Monday, because I can spend Sunday next weekend recording again. This is my thing as well about weekly blogs. I love the idea of doing them, and we've had a lovely little half-hour chat now. It's been great. Helped me make some plans for the week, which actually I think I needed. But if I'm busy on a Sunday, because I work out of the house, so if I haven't filmed it Saturday or Sunday, it won't be up on the Monday, because I won't have time to record before I go to work, for example. I leave the house about 7:45 in the mornings. So yeah, for the time being, we are on weekly, but like in 2 weekends time, we're away seeing friends in London Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so there won't be a video on that Monday unless I can work out how I record. I need to like do a podcast schedule of when I can record. And that might be the Spinuary video then, actually, because that will be the 5th. Oh yes, right. So that will be the 5th of February then. So I can put the Spinuary video up. Yes, there we go. Right, Spinuary video will just be one video at the end of, at the beginning of February, looking back over my spinning escapades and my learnings during January. So I think that's the plan. But apart from that, it's going to be a busy old week of work again, and hopefully lots of crafting. I've got some really fun projects. I'm enjoying my crafting at the moment. Yeah, I'm addicted to those socks. I'm now sitting here pondering, can I not do the shawl and the tassels and just work on the sock? But I feel like it's 5:45 now. Yeah, I'm just going to do the shawl and stay hydrated. It's not big and it's not clever, and I should know better at my age. But you know what? It was such a fun night. We played darts. We went to a local boozer. Yeah, it was just lovely to hear all about the wedding plans and make more plans for them for things that we're going to do for the wedding and hen parties. And yeah, very excited. So it was a lovely, lovely weekend, even if I'm a little bit fragile today. But I have been good, because in previous videos, when I've been hungover, I've ended up going out for fried chicken. And I'm like, I just need something fried. I'm not at that stage, and we won't. Mark's going to roast the chicken. Although, actually, it's 5:45. He hasn't put the chicken in yet. Maybe we're not having roast chicken. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm babbling. So Thank you very much for watching and giving me a bit of your time. Let me know what you think of the projects that I've been working on this week. Yeah, and let me know what you want to see in these weekly videos as well, if there's other things for us to cover or talk about, because I'm going to try and do a few more project-y style vlogs where I edit bits together over weeks, and also some plans for out and about videos. There'll be behind the scenes videos at Unravel and East Anglia Yarn Fest. I'm going to be doing something very exciting in July, I think, with Ellie from Tidinbrun, who I did the Sheep to Skein series with. So I'm very excited about that. So lots of plans and out and abouts. It's just cold, dark in January. So at the moment, you've just got me in, sitting down, chatting to you. But let me know in the comments if there's some projects that you remember that are my whips that I can drag out to show you in other videos. We will do a whip. We'll do a bit of a whip. Maybe we'll do that next week. I can do that over the weekend. I'll film. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a whip video next week. But let me know if there's anything else you want to start seeing in these weekly blogs. As I say, I will keep making the videos as long as you all keep watching them. And yes, thank you very much for being here. I love the support and all of your comments and you giving me some of your time to watch. It's just really lovely. Are you coming to yarn shows? That's the other one. Who's coming to Unravel? That is on the 23rd of February. 23rd, 24th, 25th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 shows. 3-day show, sorry, for Unravel. And then a couple of weeks later, the 9th and 10th of March is East Anglia Yarn Festival. That's in Norfolk. So Unravel is in Farnham and East Anglia is in Norfolk. It's at the Norfolk Showground. I was going to say the Norwich Showground. No, Norfolk Showground, I think. I think it's the Norfolk Showground. It's definitely the Showground, but I think it's called the Norfolk. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but yes, let me know if you're coming to those. It would be amazing to see you and to chat to you all. And I'm hoping I'll have some time to sit down and craft at some of the shows as well. And we can have a little sit down and a knit and a chat. That will be amazing. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Comments below. You know the drill. But I hope that you are all keeping well. Please have a lovely week. Whatever you get up to. I'm going to edit this together now and get this uploaded to the YouTube. I'll be back on Monday with more shenanigans, hopefully not hungover. Will I have finished objects next weekend? Who can say? Check back next week and you'll find out. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a good week, and until we speak again, happy crafting.